The Super Mario Bros. Movie is help created by Illumination Animation alongside Nintendo. In fact, it's the first Nintendo movie that we've had in over 30 years, which is crazy to think because Nintendo loves their IPs, so you would think they would have more movies coming out. But nope, this is the first one we've had in over 30 years. The Brooklyn plumber that we all know and love, Mario, travels to the Mushroom Kingdom with Princess Peach and his friend Toad to help save his brother Luigi and save the world from the evil fire-breathing Koopa known as Bowser. Now, before even critics were talking about this movie, because they've been kind of pandering this movie quite a bit, I was very nervous when they first announced the Mario movie, mainly because of the casting. I mean, Chris Pratt as Mario, that threw me for a complete loop when they announced that. I mean, Charlie Day's Luigi was sounding like a good idea, and Jack Black as Bowser sounded like a great idea as well. But mainly Chris Pratt as Mario completely threw me off, and I was thinking to myself, oh no, this movie's gonna be absolute trash. It's gonna be the worst. And then when the critics started talking about this movie recently, they've been saying that it's not a good movie and it's just a mediocre mess. I was pretty nervous going in, but luckily, the critics are so wrong with this movie. I loved the Super Mario Bros. Movie. It's one of my favorite movies of the year. I mean, yes, I'm a complete Nintendo fanboy, as you can see from my jacket. I love Nintendo, and this movie was just a love letter to Nintendo fans and Mario fans like myself. I loved this movie. Now, that's not to say that the movie isn't perfect. I do have quite a bit of flaws with it, and I'll bring those up in a minute, but I just had an absolute great time watching this movie. I had a giant smile on my face the entire time. I went to see this with like 10 of my friends, and we all had a complete blast. This movie is just for Nintendo fans. I mean, sure, critics can have their own opinions, but for people like me and people who love Mario and have grown up with Mario, like I've been playing Mario games for like the past 20 years, over 20 years probably, and this movie was just made for people like me, and I had an absolute freaking amazing time watching this. Okay, but first let's get the elephant out of the room. Chris Pratt as Mario. How does he do? I mean, the entire internet was just bashing Chris Pratt when he was first announced as Mario, and to be honest, we all owe Chris Pratt an apology. He does such a good job as Mario. He doesn't go over the top with that Italian accent. He just does his own unique style for the Mario voice, and for me, it works. It really works. He does an amazing job as Mario. In fact, the casting all around is great, but easily the star of the show is Jack Black as Bowser. This is some of the best casting I have ever seen for an animated film. He gives it 110%. Every time I play a Mario game now, I'm probably going to be thinking of Jack Black's voice as Bowser. I mean, he does such a good job with this. He has fun musical numbers, he's over the top, he's funny. He has so many good lines in this movie that just made me laugh out loud so many times. He is definitely worth the price of admission alone just to see his portrayal as Bowser. It's amazing. And as you can see from the clips that I've been showing, the animation is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, this is like watching a true next-gen Mario game on the big screen. In fact, I need a Mario game that looks as good as this. Nintendo, can we please get on that? It's definitely a departure from Illumination's regular animation style. This is easily their best looking film that they've animated. And it just really surprised me that this was by Illumination. Because I'll be honest, we all know Illumination movies do tend to look pretty cheap. But not this one. This one looked like they put in so much time and effort and passion into the animation. It's just absolutely gorgeous, and you can see all the love that was put into this movie from like every single frame. And the Super Mario Bros. Movie is just chock full of Easter eggs. In the foreground and background, I'm pretty sure every single frame in this movie has some sort of Easter egg. And throughout the entire time, I was just pointing at the screen going, oh, I know that reference. I understand that. I know what that is. And yes, I know I'm just completely fanboying over the Super Mario Bros. Movie, but like I said, this movie was made for Nintendo fans like me and Mario fans like me, and this is just a complete love letter to people that love Nintendo and have grown up with Nintendo. I don't care if I'm not really critiquing this movie that much or giving too much of an in-depth analysis. This is the Mario movie. I mean, I'm not going in to see Citizen Kane. I'm going to see a passionate project for Nintendo fans, and that's what I got, and I left super happy. Let me tell you the things that I didn't like about this movie, because there are quite a few very odd choices that they used for the Mario movie. For example, the music. Now, Mario has 50 years of a music library that they could have used for this movie, and for the most part, they do. They use all the classic soundtracks and theme songs from the games, but they also included a bunch of 80s songs. Like, for example, they used Take On Me, No Sleep Till Brooklyn, I Need a Hero, and it was very distracting. They had all these 80s songs just popped in throughout the movie, and I'm like, you could have easily used a theme song or a tune from the Mario games to put in this scene, and would have made this scene so much better for the Mario movie. But no, they decided to use classic 80s soundtrack music? Like, why? It seemed very out of place and was very distracting. I mean, it didn't ruin my experience with the movie, but it definitely made me a little peeved off. Like, can you not use the Mario theme songs that you have? I mean, you have, like I said, 50 years of Mario music you could use, and you use I Need a Hero? By the way, can animated films stop putting in I Need a Hero in their movie? You're not going to beat Shrek 2. You're just not. That's the best rendition of I Need a Hero. So stop putting in I Need a Hero in your movies. Please. And the other problem I have with this movie is the thing that everyone is saying, all the critics, is the story is fine at best. It's not great, but it's a Mario movie. You don't play the Mario games for the story. No, you play it for the fun adventure. And this movie is a fun adventure to go stop Bowser and save Luigi. It's a fun premise. But the story is definitely all over the place. One scene we're in the Mushroom Kingdom, then like we're in Donkey Kong Island, then we're in Bowser's Kingdom, back to the Mushroom Kingdom, then Rainbow Road. The movie is very go, 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 all over the place. And that's not a bad thing, but the story is very poorly paced in my opinion. It doesn't give you enough time to breathe and take in the world and take in the environment. If you know me and you've been seeing my channel for a while, you know I critique movies for being too long. I think this movie is too short. I think this movie could have used at least 15 more minutes of screen time to flesh out the world and flesh out the characters and flesh out the story. Just add 15 more minutes of a few scenes here and there to flesh out the story more. Now, like I said, I don't play the Mario games for the story, but I see movies for the story. I see movies for great character development, world building, and storytelling. And this movie does have some of that, especially the character development between Mario and Luigi and their brotherly dynamic. That's great in the movie, and the world building is great too. But the story as a whole and the story itself, I was definitely just left wanting more. I mean, Sonic the Hedgehog 2 that came out last year, that had a really fun and engaging story. So what's this movie's excuse? This movie could have had a much better story. But I don't think the movie was trying to achieve that. I believe the Mario movie was trying to give us what it's like to play the games on the big screen. And if that was their main goal, then yeah, they succeeded. I had a great time watching this movie. Like I said, it was like reliving my childhood seeing it on the big screen. And even with, I would say, a pretty mediocre story, the Mario movie was just an absolute blast in my opinion. Like I said, I want to just get out of this chair and go see it again and just see the beautiful animation and the great jokes and the great voice acting and just seeing the Mario world on the big screen again. I had an absolute great time with this movie. Even with its flaws, this movie is absolutely worth seeing. Like, go see it right now. I highly recommend it. And I'm going to give the Mario movie 8 power stars out of 10. Guys, if this is your first time here and you like what you've seen, be sure to subscribe. Guys, if this is your first time here and you like what you've seen, be sure to subscribe for more content. And have you seen the Mario movie? What did you think about it? Be sure to let me know in the comments down below. I hope you have a fantastic night. Take care.